There's a draft coming from this side. Can you check the windows, please? We respectfully request the Sangha of great virtues, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận tình, vì thứ Pháp hội cấp nhớ thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh chuyến diệu Pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Saranto Suchedo Ye Alahadi San Miao San Puto Xie. Nam mô Tadakha Tuya Raja Alahade Tamyo Tambo Da Doa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jian wen de shou chi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zhe Shi Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone. Today is the 13th lucky day for November 2022. We are here in Wei Mountain Temple to continue discussing the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. We are on slide 771. 1 week has passed already for this chanchi. So now we're starting the second week. This part of the chapter 1 here is discussing the heavenly beings, the world rulers who are pictures. Why not? Korea photos today, before we get into serious business. This is a photo from our fearless abbot in Korea. Okay, look at him, and look at how beautiful the colors are in Korea. Do we have more photos? This is just it. Look at that. Yeah. This is in the midst of a chanchi, and I don't know what they're doing, walking around. But, it's Korea, so, and look at all these people. They look so happy. Beautiful colors. Yeah. Yeah. She's the one who took the photos. Good job. Look at that. And finally, our abbot. Yeah, look at that. He had a big gash on his eyes when I was there. Yeah, and now look at that, the Korean plastic surgery. I think it looks better than before. Don't you think? Huh? Now it makes you wonder, how real are the Korean faces? You find it funny? Okay. Well, anyway, anyone would like to make a comment about this? And also, pale? He has really cheeks. He has good cheeks. Yeah. Older? Is your impression? I think it looks younger. Okay. Some people say look older, some people say it looks younger, some people say it look younger than last month, some people say it look older than a few years ago. Make up your mind. It's okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you for the photos. It's nice to have news from you all. And also today, we also have a parallel Dharma here. Each temple will be different depending on what we have available in terms of facilities and in terms of manpower. So here, Way Mountain Temple, during the Chanchis, we still do the Sunday Pure Land Dharma Assembly at Lu Mountain Temple, which is about 5-minute drive from here. Okay, and last week we started doing that. People weren't aware of it, so only a handful of people showed up. Today, a lot more people showed up. And we like to encourage it because not everyone is interested in doing chant. Actually, most people are terrified of chant, hearing that we sit all day long and do nothing. One of the most difficult things to do in life is to do nothing and just sit. Okay, I remember when I was in college. And for some reason, I was in an empty classroom, and I decided to meditate, do nothing. Okay, and that's why I call meditation back then. So I sat there like that, and then I said, okay, I'm not gonna think of anything. That's my meditation back then. My mantra back then. I'm not thinking of anything. I'm thinking of nothing. I'm thinking of nothing. So I was doing that, and a Caucasian person walked in, a Caucasian student walked in, looked at me, and said, "Don't do that." It's like someone being still is scary, is strange for Westerners. Anyway, And so most people don't understand the importance of meditation. Especially when they hear that we advocate sitting in full lotus, which is rather painful, rather uncomfortable for many people. And so it's kind of a scary proposition for them. So that's why we still maintain the Pure Land Dharma Assembly on Sundays as well. And we have another Buddha Hall at a way place not too far from here, our original way place, where we originated from. And we try to do that for everyone. And we encourage you to do that because if you prefer to recite the Buddha's name, definitely go over there. If you prefer to meditate, and do it here, okay? And so that's what we do. So each temple is different. Not all the way places can have two Buddha halls, two different facilities, different buildings, okay? So we take advantage of it. As far as the cheese here, year-end cheese here, is actually a luxury for most of us, because we work all year round, and so we look forward to the end of the year cheese. This is our time to catch up on our work and our backlog, and in particular, more importantly, for most of us, is the time to heal. Okay, this is very important. When you work to make a living, you are sacrificing your health in exchange for money. That's the way it is. And what most people in the world don't realize is that you cannot abuse your body like that. So smart people, people with blessings will go to gyms and so forth. But the better thing for you to do is to also meditate. Okay, meditation. So I strongly urge you to save some vacation time. So when it's time for the chanqis or something, come and join us and stay for a day, full day, or 3 days, preferably 7 days. 7 days is when the body will recycle before you see the effects that will stay. Okay, and if you do that, you are doing great things for your health. In particular, if some of you are not in good health, I encourage you to come, okay, and stay in the temple and practice with us. Don't worry about anything, okay. In particular, this disciple Master YongHua here, she's lucky that this is a chi time, and actually, if it weren't for her coming here, I'd say that she'll be in big trouble. She'll be very, very sick. And so that's why I talked to her today. I encouraged her to come for a week or so, or the rest of the duration, and do some cultivation, because if she didn't, the health will get worse next year. Okay, so this is what most people do if you're smart. At the end of the year, like the way we do here, we go into a chi, we rejuvenate ourselves. Okay, and so that we deal with the wear and tear on our bodies for the year. So it's very, very helpful. I strongly urge you to do that. Okay, it's good for you. Okay, good for your mental health as well. In particular, if you have a mental issue such as you're bipolar, you have depression, or you're manic and so forth, it's not easy for you to come and be able to stay, because you have the urge to run away. Okay, but you stay. You learn how to cope with your mental issues as well. Just don't kill us, okay? That's all. All right. Any questions or comments? Okay, please do come. We're 771. We're talking about the group of world rulers. They're from the great Brahma heavens. Okay, 772. Text. Moreover, there were uncountable kings of the great Brahma heavens.
复有不可数大梵天王。
Okay, 773 commentary slide. Okay, as a little bit later in the sutra, you learn more about how the universe is structured. Okay, there's a world or Buddha land. Okay, whatever we call it, or here for most ordinary people, they call it galaxy. Okay, we call it world or Buddha land. And so they have a lot of worlds. You know, a world system. Okay, has a lot of worlds, and each world has a Mount Sumeru and so forth. So you see, you understand the structure on how each world is made up. And so in each world here, you have the world rulers, the rulers who rule over our world. Okay, it's an orderly system. It's not as chaotic as you think. Okay, for example, if you think that you are in charge. No, there's other people who are rulers of the world who are actually overseeing us. We're still accountable to them. Okay, and here there are some world rulers here of the great Brahma heavens, which is the Brahma means pure and clean. And this belongs to the third heaven of the first dhyana. Okay, when you are in the desire realm, that's what we are right now, and you practice, have some sort of practice. You enter the first dhyana. That's your first level of concentration, and that dhyana is the dhyana heaven. Okay, it's up there in space, and so when you get to this first dhyana, that heaven has 3 different types, and the great Brahma heavens is one of the 3. So far, so good. And in particular, the king of this great Brahma heaven is by the name of Sikhin. Okay, which means Shu Qi. Okay, means upholding cow. Okay. In the Sikhin here is a Sanskrit, and it translates into English or Chinese. Chinese Shu Qi, and then it translates upholding cow. And he is the king of the first dhyana. Okay, so this heaven there, first dhyana heaven, has a king ruler. And the king rulers these people have exquisite forms. That's why they call the form realms. They're exquisite. So he has this particular king ruler here, has 3 eyes and 4 arms, has a countenance of a child, the face of a child, and he's dressed in golden-hued clothing. His body is of the color of silver, and his name also translates a conch cow, because the fresh cow he has on the top of his head. His head resembles a conch, And he's very free and at ease. In particular, this king here has a very important role in our world because his nature is that he loves the Dharma. So he takes the dhyana as food, and he really has the Dharma bliss, and that's his joy in life. Down here, we drink booze, right? Booze. We drink booze for fun. Yeah? Okay. So up there, what this guy does, his choice of fun is to listen to the Dharma. And that's why he has his penchant to listen to the Buddha Dharma. And when he listens to the sound, he brings forth faith. He believes what the Buddha preached. And in his heart arose happiness, joy. That's called Dharma bliss. Okay? For him. That's his fun. His highest level of fun for him is to listen to the Dharma. I don't know about what your highest level of fun, okay? What's fun to you? But for him, it's listening to the Dharma. Isn't it interesting? So they're pure. They're very pure people. Their joy and their bliss are of a much, much more refined nature than ours. Because what happens is that if you, let's say, you use booze, and there's some side effects, yeah, okay. So that's why it's coarse in that sense. Whereas when you get higher in the samadhi range, and that's when you become more refined. Your joy and your bliss becomes much more refined. Okay, and he have deep belief in the proper Dharma, meaning the Buddha Dharma, and he likes to propagate the proper Dharma. And because of his penchant for listening to the Dharma, when every single Buddha appears in the world, he's the one who requested that the Buddha would turn the Dharma wheel. So as soon as a Buddha, many Buddhas come our world, they cultivate and they become a Buddha, certify the Buddhahood, and immediately he would come around and request the Buddha to turn the Dharma wheel, to speak Dharma for him and for his children, for the humans. He says the humanity needs your teaching. Without your teaching, humanity would be in trouble. Yes, 6.
Di Đà Phật, thưa Thầy, không biết con có hiểu, did I misunderstand it or not? But I thought the Brahma is the people that in Indian before when the Buddha cultivated with them, the last teacher that he...
Sorry? Come again?
And is it Brahma is not the people that they have a twisting hair on the top in India? And they do, I think...
That's they're human descendants of this guy.
Oh, yeah.
In India. Yeah. What happened is that the heavenly beings on the first Yana heaven, they used to come down to earth when it was first formed, to the desire realm, and then they like to go around and play around. They flew down, okay, and they play around, and eventually they got attached to the desire realm because they like the crust of the earth. They pick up the crust of earth. It tastes much better than Italian chocolate. Okay, don't even talk to me about American chocolate. I try all sorts of American chocolate. Expensive and not worth it. Anyway, yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. That's the same story of what happened to the angels, is that they came to earth and they enjoyed the crust of the earth. And when they ate it, they were weighed down and they couldn't fly back to where they came from. So they got stuck here. So they became fallen angels.
Is that the Buddhist folklore, or is it we talking about Christian or Catholic?
Well, it's Christian folklore according to Aaron Aronofsky.
I didn't know that.
If you watch Noah, he talks all about it.
Oh, wow. Who?
The film is called Noah.
Noah. The recent film?
Yeah,
Noah?
the recent Noah by Darren Aronofsky, the director.
How interesting. So they keep on stealing things from us, these Catholics. And then they try to convert us. How weird. And you know why? Since Daniel's not here, we can talk freely, right? I mean, we're not offending anyone in the audience. And so because the Brahma heavens, because when the Brahma heavens requested the Dharma, he called the Christian God, which is in the king of the second desired heaven. He said, "Come, we better request the Buddha to speak the Dharma for the humans." Because the fallen angels actually were his citizens, his subjects in the first dhyana heaven. So they flew down, ate the earth crust, which tasted like chocolate, much more refined than chocolate, and they got attached to it. And amazingly, because they liked the flavor so much, they lost the ability to fly. So they stuck down here. Does it make sense to you? It bothered me when I heard the story from Master YongHua a long time ago. I said, why would you like someone and you lose the ability to fly and you become attached to it because of your attachment to it? Why is that? You think like, if we can lift 100 pounds, we can leap 2 feet in the air, whether you eat chocolate or not, you still can, before you still can leap, right? So why is that they lost the ability to fly? So they could not go back to the heavens anymore. So they had to stay here and they had to colonize us. And what happened initially, they steal plenty of chocolate. So they started eating every day. They ate more and more. And pretty soon, the earth crust was exhausted. It's gone. And guess what happened? This is a fascinating story. I heard it. I said, I couldn't believe it. I said, seriously? I mean, we're scientific age people. Come on. Are you trying to pull my leg? Yeah. And then, after the earth crust is gone, food is scarce. You know what happened? Anyone? You didn't know? You don't know this? This is in the historical books of our ancestors. If it were recorded, it's a long, long time ago. That's why, it wasn't, it's no written record. But the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas know the story, so that's why we learn about this. So what happened is because after the food is gone, the earth crust is gone. Naturally, there's a crop of food that just sprouted by themselves. They didn't have to farm. Hey, Catholic. Yeah, we're telling you, giving you more ideas for you to refine the story you stole from us, the fallen angels. Okay? So what happened? Settle down, sit down. Aren't we glad you have someone to abuse? Yes, sir. Defend yourself. Why did you steal from us? You know, it's against the precepts. Thou shalt not steal.
I have to say that Peter is wrong. The fallen angels are basically, they were heavenly angels
He's
that rebel against God and His
Catholicism, you know.
will. So He cast them to the hells.
Yeah, right. He's belongs to the weird Catholicism group, you know. the radical Catholics. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. Did you want to say something, Nine?
Yes. Thank you, Master. I would like to take the path of non-obstruction and agree with Daniel that there are many versions of why the angels fell.
I see. Okay. And he happened to believe in the deviant version.
It's my experience that the Catholics appreciate the more hardcore version that deals with like lots and lots of sin and gnarly violence.
Yeah. I would not call it hardcore. It's called brainwashing, like Confucius. That's what he did to the Chinese and then to the Koreans. Anyway, so this is the official Buddhist version, okay? And we hope that the Catholics will refine their stories so that it's more truthful. Okay? And so naturally, a crop would sprout back then without any farming, without any cultivation at all. So our ancestors, our human ancestors, then ate the crops, and then pretty soon they're running out of food. That's when they're forced to start to learn how to look for fruits and learn how to farm eventually. That's what happened. Now, why did the crops just sprout by themselves? This is the point I'm trying to make for you, for your benefit. Yes, Nine.
Well, thank you, Master. I will refer to the Darren Aronofsky again version of why.
Yeah.
I believe it was because manna fell from heaven and fertilized the soil so that food would grow.
Yeah, probably it could be true. But primarily because of the nature of their blessings. So when it first moved from the heavens, first the inner heaven down to the desired heaven to our earth here, okay, they had heavenly blessings. Heavenly blessings means that you can enjoy life without having to work. So that's why they had the chocolate, that's why they had the crops. They just sprouted naturally. But not only were they using up those blessings, they also were creating offenses as well. They started stealing like the Catholics. So that's why God has said, "Thou shalt not steal." You see that? So the offense of creating, that's why those blessings ran out. They ran out of blessings, and now they experience difficulties, and that's when God started to create Eve. Oh, that's my commentary. No, it's not from there. Yes, sir.
In defense of the Catholics, Master, if I may, it's said in English quite often that plagiarism is the most sincere form of flattery. So
Yeah.
I take it as a compliment that they have stolen from us.
No, he believes it. But what happened is that just like most people who have no real wisdom, he believes that what he learned from us is the truth. He really believes in that. This guy really believes in that. He's behind all these Catholic teachings. That's his creation. So he modified it in order to keep them in check. Because he knows that his children, these Catholics, are very unruly. That's why you keep on hearing the expression, "How can you be like that? Be more Catholic." Catholics are not supposed to lie. Catholics are not supposed to steal. Be more Catholic. Heard that expression? I used to say that to a bunch of unruly kids who went to Bible school. The
word that I would hear growing up is be more pious.
Be more pious. No, I was more insulting. Be more Catholic. Anyway, so it's kind of interesting that this guy here did a lot of good for us, because you see why? Because he lived so long time, so he watched how his subjects, got stuck on earth. That's why he says, I need to do something to take care of them. So you see, Daniel's boss, that Christian gods, actually reports to the first Dhyana heaven king. That's why. So he ordered them to, he kneeled down first, and the second heaven, desire heaven god, the Christian god, behind him, and they just like Xian Jin just did, and they requested the Dharma. That's how the Buddha spoke the Dharma. He enjoyed it. He loved it, and he goes to attend the sutra lectures. He loves listening to the Dharma. It makes him happy. That's his food. All right? 775. Specifically, there were celestial king Sikhin.
所谓石器天王。
Okay, 776. What he does is he practices pure conduct. He doesn't indulge in sex. And he severs desire. Remember, this is the first heaven, lowest heaven of the form realm. The form realm has 4 heavens, and this is the first Dhyana heaven, so the lowest. Okay, and these beings here, they don't eat anymore. They don't have desire for sex or for food, and that's why when they went down to the earth for travel, they saw the chocolate and they tasted it. Oh wow, I'm missing all this. That's why I keep on coming down to the desire realm where we are. So he's practices purity, pure conduct. 777 sounds like cigarettes. Celestial King Wisdom Light.
慧光天王。
Okay. And this guy here, he emits light from his wisdom. In fact, in the first desire, the first form heaven, the beings, they don't talk anymore. They use light to communicate with each other. And they all emit light from their bodies. And this one here, not only does he emit light, he also has wisdom. So that's why he uses this wisdom to emit light, to help his subjects. 779. Celestial King, light of wholesome wisdom.
善慧光明天王。
Okay, this king here, he opened his wisdom by doing good, by practicing good. And that's how he uses light to shine upon things to help his subjects to understand the importance of doing good. 781, Celestial King, Universal Cloud, Sound.
普云音天王。
And this guy here in 782, he 普云音天王. So he creates a sound that, is it me or you? Oh, it's me. Excuse me. I get confused. So he can create sound of thunder that pervades all world. In Buddhism, when you create a sound of thunder, it's in order to instill fear in people. Okay. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. Do these celestial beings still come down to earth, or they're not able to?
I'm sorry?
Do the celestial beings from the first dhyana heaven, do they still come to the earth?
You come to the earth?
To this desire realm?
Yeah, they can fly down here. Okay? They can fly. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. So are they like the stories we hear of the Greek and Roman gods, like Zeus, who would come down from Mount Olympus and participate in worldly affairs, and then have half deity children, etc., etc.?
No, that's different. That's the imagination from the Greeks. That's probably inspired from our stories, from our folk tales. But this is much higher, and this is much higher heaven. It's suspended in space.
Thank you, Master. And so also just so I understand, this is the same Brahma kings in the second dhyana heaven where the Jade Emperor resides and reports to?
No, they're different. They're different in each world. They have each world has the heavens. So okay, and so these worlds have rulers within their own worlds, and then the other world also has a different name and also has different. They also have a second dhyana heaven, and so forth. So they have many worlds like that. Many galaxies like that. This is why now the James Webb Telescope is discovering, that there's lots of galaxies out there. Okay, each galaxy has many worlds within it. Okay, and so that's why this particular king here, this king of the Brahma heaven, he can produce a sound that goes very far to many worlds, and that's important because in order to teach others, you have to be able to instill fear in them. You cannot be nice. You're nice because you're trying to sell, to please. You teach, you have to scare them. Okay? And that's the important distinction here. You cannot be afraid to scare people because you need to teach them. All right. 783. Celestial King freely contemplating the sounds and speech of the world.
观世言音自在天王。
This guy is probably a disciple of Wanyin Bodhisattva. Okay? He says, I'm not Wanyin Bodhisattva yet, but what I do here, I'm a mini Wanyin Bodhisattva. Okay? So he contemplates the sounds and the speech of the world. Okay? As his work in order to decide how and who to help. All right? 785. Celestial King, still and quiet, bright eyes.
极静光明眼天王。
Okay, 786. This guy, when you see the word 寂静, that's still and quiet, that refers to the meditation practice. Okay, meditation practice is you still your mind and you quiet your thoughts. Still your thoughts and quiet your mind. I don't care. Okay, so that's meditation, and because he practices meditation, his eyes are very bright. Okay, and he uses those eyes to illuminate and look at his subjects, the people he tries to help. Okay, and it's a little bit scary as well to see people with shining eyes. 787. Celestial King, light pervading the 10 directions.
光遍十方天王。
Okay, this guy here got his name because he produces a light that shines through the 10 directions. Okay, has spiritual powers. Okay, the difference between these people and us, losers, is because when they do the light, they emit light and look and you produce a sound and so forth, is in order to help others, not to look at others' faults. All right? And that's because they have wisdom. You see the difference between them is that they chose to develop these abilities in order to help others, not because they're greedy for those abilities, because they're cool. I admit to you, when I heard about those things, I said, wow, I like to do that too. Okay, I liked. But after a while, then you realize it's nonsense. It's very difficult. Because you see how the non-Buddhist practitioners, they develop these abilities. I remember, and I don't mean to badmouth him, a temple doctor, a very good guy, Vietnamese guy who is really a good healer, and he can heal a lot of illnesses. And his family tradition of 7 generations of healers for free. They don't charge money. Very special people. And so he has the ability to see. He opened his heavenly eyes. Okay? And he can see things. And so he uses it in his work. But he also uses it to look at everything as well. Okay? Yeah. And so And so they have this process where he actually does something and he opens his eyes consistently. And what happened is that, so he uses it all day. Every time he sees someone, he says, oh, you have two people, you're not one person. He refers to Xianjie. He says, I look at you, I see two people. Depression and manic. That's what he saw. It's funny. We went. Xianjie used to go to see him because Xianshun brought him, right? Didn't you? Was that you? Okay, you don't remember anymore. Conveniently. And so he says, and then he says, so the two of you. Okay, and Xianjie said, yeah, it's true. I did think like I was Jesus. I felt I was Jesus, and so forth. And so he says, I look at you, I saw two of you. And I also saw that the medication you're taking is doing things in your stomach. So he says, stop taking those medications. It's bad for you. It's back then, for bipolar people, they have to take a lot of, a handful of medication like this, more than once a day to maintain control of their moods. It's quite commonplace, I'm told. Okay, and so that's what he does. They can see things and they use it constantly. Okay, and so he looked at me. He said, "I'm interested in your navel, in your dantian. Can I look at your dantian? I love to go and look at cultivators' dantian. I've been doing this for 10 years." I said, "Okay, you want to look? Look." And so he sat down. Okay, and he got into full lotus. I'm telling you these stories because there's a reason. Those who are not in full lotus, get in full lotus. Yeah, and he got full lotus, and then it was like very fast. Within about a minute, he's quiet, and then his face turned white, and he immediately unbuckled and he stood up. And he bowed to me and he said, "Okay, I'm sorry, I have to go." And later he came back and he decided to come back and he said, "Can I bow to you?" I said, "I don't want to look at you anymore. I just want to bow to you." I said, "Okay, you can bow." What the heck? No one ever bowed to me before. Felt good, So later we could talk some more. So I said, when you look at my dantian, what did you see? He says, "I've seen so many monks' dantian. Most monks I met, I look at that dantian. So that's why I wanted to look at yours." Says, "Okay, so what did you see?" He said, "I didn't see anything." So I said, "I didn't do anything either." I didn't block your vision. I didn't hide. I didn't do anything, okay? I am what you saw. It's a real deal. But I said, "But what else did you see?" He said, "Behind you, there's like snakes. 1,000 of them. Moving." So I was so frightening. I didn't want to look anymore. So I closed my eyes and stood up. I said, oh, I know what you mean. Because I look at myself in the mirror, I don't see nothing. But he saw something. Anyway, so these people, they go around, there's so many people, so it has, they open their eyes and see strange things. And that's what they do, okay? And so that's why these non-Buddhist practitioners, they have this penchant, they have this attachment to developing these spiritual penetrations, and once they have them, they're stuck. They get in trouble. They don't know what to do. And the proof is that, so he said, he was impressed. He said, he kept on coming to me, brought his kids and his wife, and then bow to Master, bow to Master. I said, really? Why would you make kids bow to a monk? I mean, give them a break. They have better things to do. And so he kept on coming, and asked me just to bow to me. And later I found out why. Because after he healed someone heavy duty with heavy duty illness, okay, his family trait, they know that every time you heal someone, like help someone with sickness, okay, jumps over to you. So the family has a technique where they shed them. They kick them out. Did I tell you that, Xianshun? When you help someone, they jump over to you. They didn't leave. The being didn't leave. They jump over to you. You didn't see that?
Is that why I'm severely depressed?
Yeah. There's a price to pay. Okay? So what they did is that he would have a method of pushing them out. But it's not 100% effective. They release only maybe 90%, 95%, 97%. Some still remains. Okay? And so, depending on how difficult the case is. So then he found out that after he had a heavy-duty client, he fixed all sorts of people. He's very famous. He's very good. Okay, and so he found out that after he healed someone, he would go over to my place and bow to me, and it's gone. I said, "Oh no! I wonder where it went." The guy has so he healed all these monks and nuns. Because the monks and nuns, for some reason, are so sick. Vietnamese monks and nuns, they're so sick so often, and they would come to see him even like weekly, and they would come and dumping on me. Anyway, you see how things are. It's funny, and then. And he found out it worked, so he loved to keep on coming and bow to me, okay? And then he said, so he started talking. He said, I said, "You third dhyana." He said, "If you say so." Even third dhyana, I'd say at least 10 years. He said, "Yeah, I mean, 10 years I haven't really made any progress." So I said, "Why not?" He said, "I don't know. I want to make progress, but I don't know how." I said, "But one of your patients, your client, is a bodhisattva. He's been teaching you. He's been helping you. Why isn't it working? He spoke Dharma for you. Okay, and I'm sure you asked him already what to do to make progress. Why are you still stuck?" He says, "I don't know." So he said, "What should I do?" I said, "Well, would you like me to teach you?" He says, yeah, please teach me. I said, I will teach you, but I tell you this. I will teach you how to do it, but you cannot do it. Just because you know doesn't mean you can do it. So, well, I'll teach you anyway. Yeah, because you've been helping my disciples, I should do something for you. I didn't realize she was dumping all my disciples' illness back on me. Xian Shun's illnesses and Xian Jie's illnesses, they all went back on my body. So I said, I will teach you. If I knew back then, I would have not taught him anything. Okay, so I will teach you. I show him what to do in order to get out of third dhyana and go to fourth dhyana. I said, I'll tell you, but you won't be able to do it. It's that simple. I know I can tell you what to do, but you cannot do it. I'll tell you right now. And I said, but tell me anyway. So I told him, okay, and sure enough, 5 years later, he's still stuck in third dhyana. Okay, so that's the story behind him. But later, several years later, that's when he was able to break free. Yeah, because he was finally have enough blessings to carry it out and not be so caught up on all his healing things. My point is, spiritual penetrations have a way of entrapping you. This is what the non-Buddhists don't realize. They're so enamored with their spiritual penetrations, eventually they get in trouble. Anyway. Next, 789. Celestial King transforming sounds.
变化音天王。
Yes, San Jose.
A Di Đà Phật. Dạ con xin lỗi, con hơi tò mò là ông thấy những cái con rắn, cả ngàn con rắn ở phía sau thầy, thì những con rắn đó là gì ạ?
Actually, they were arms. That's why his eyes are not very good. He needed glasses. All his eyes need glasses. That's the problem with these people. They see, but they don't, it's not clear. So he said, I just see, these things that they keep on something moving behind you. I said, they're very scary things. And so that's why I said, snakes? I said, something like that. Well, actually, they're arms. Okay? I didn't realize they had arms. Okay? Do you understand how YongHua?
Trên những cái bàn tay đó có con mắt hay không ạ?
Yeah, some are holding a sword, some are holding, an arrow, a bow, a hatchet, maybe. I don't know. I can't see behind me. You have to tell me. Yes, 9.
Thank you.
I'm just saying. I don't look. Yes.
Thank you, Master. So is what I'm hearing is that the Vietnamese doctor thought he saw snakes behind you, but what he really saw was arms?
It's a scary thing. I mean, it's for him to be scared. I mean, it's got to be so menacing,
Like around 1,000 arms?
Something like that, 1,000, 10,000, I don't know. I'm not good at math. Okay, so my point here is that these people, yes, I'm coming to you. These people, they have limited abilities, and they become attached to it, and they get in trouble. They only see part of the thing, and they, and they react to it. No samadhi power. This is why, when you don't have enough samadhi powers, you have opened these eyes, you're able to do these things. You get afflicted. That's why in our style, we prefer to go all the way up in terms of samadhi power before we develop spiritual penetration. You understand? It's much safer. That's what happened to Master YongHua's disciples as well. They hide in their temples. They go, and then pretty soon they open these things. That's what happened in 42 hands. You practice a lot of them. They're going to open their eyes and all these things. It's very dangerous. And so they said, oh, look at that. Look at those arms. Look how beautiful it is. Oh, wow. Wow. Perfect fingers. Never saw fingers that beautiful before. Look at those fingernails. They must go to nail salons every day. It's perfect. And pedicures, the feet. Anyway, so what happens is they see those things and they become attached. And that's what his problem is. He worked, and I told him to what to do to get to fourth dhyana, but every time he saw a client, he used those things and he got distracted. And every day he didn't have a chance until he stopped. And then he did what I told him to do. That's how he eventually was able to make it to fourth. But now guess what? He's stuck at fourth. He doesn't even know he's stuck at fourth. He doesn't even know he's got to fourth. You guys are so ungrateful. It's incredible how ungrateful you are. I tell you, I'm so upset. When I tell people you make it to, you just improve. I say, oh yeah? How come I don't feel nothing? Prove it to me, I improve. And so this guy, I taught him, and he got the fourth. I didn't say anything. So he didn't even know he got the fourth. Because if he knew, he would say, now how do I get to the next level? I said, oh, it's too much trouble. Go away. Go back to your Dharma. You don't need Buddhism. Understand? So you are so ungrateful because I tell you. This guy I didn't tell, that's why he didn't bother me at all for all these years. He said he felt he's still stuck. He didn't have any clues. He escaped the traps of the third dhyana. That's why he didn't realize he made it. Yeah. But you guys, when I tell you, not only not you believe me, and you even criticize me, Master is trying to get more money out of me. Yeah. You see? So the difference is that you know, and then you say, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then, so what do we do next? This guy doesn't know, so I said, I'm still in third. You're wasting time. He's wasting time. Doesn't know it. Is it clear? Like Vicky, she said, I see this thing, I see that thing, and that's what happened. You see those things, you're stuck. You spend time seeing nonsense. It has nothing to do with you. Yes, spy number 1, the newly promoted one.
Thank you, Master. I got
You're welcome.
2 questions.
You deserve to be promoted. You keep good company.
Thank you. So sweet, Master.
I mean it.
So, one question that...
Only one?
No, 2 questions. One from somebody asked.
More like it, yeah.
Your disciple asked me. So, what is the... He said, how come only 42 hands? How is that related to the 1,000 hands and eyes Guan Yin?
That's a good question. I need to go ask Guan Yin. I have no idea, sir. They're different things. The 42 hands are those weapons that you need to work. Each has its own use. For example, when you cook, do you cook? I'm told that your mother told me you don't cook at all.
I got kicked out.
When was the last time you cooked?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. So your mom didn't lie to me. She would never lie to me.
I used to be a good girl. I was cooking, but then my mom and my sister really didn't appreciate my cooking. So I was so sad. I was crying and I was suiciding, and I said, "That's it. Bye-bye."
This girl has a lot of problems.
That's why I'm here.
Okay, that's not make it any worse. Okay, so the reasons are the 42s are the 42 different kinds of weapons that you can use, depending on what you need to do. Okay, and the 1,000s, meaning that you can do it a 1,000 of them at the same time. Yeah, cool. Huh? So that's how you finding a ghost. Not only you have 42 ways of attacking the ghost, okay? But let's say before you attack the ghost, you take one hand, you slap in the face, just for the heck of it. Huh? Okay? And the other hand, you elbow him. Huh? And then, what? And then he goes this way and you punch him with an uppercut. Okay? 1,000 ways to attack him. How's that? Well, that's why they're scared. Okay, second question.
Well, last time Daniel fasted 6 to 7 days. Is he going to benefit from 3 days of fasting?
Who?
Daniel.
He's not Buddhist. He's not going to benefit anything from Buddhism. Huh? What's your problem?
So, no benefit? No fasting for Daniel?
Well, yeah, he gets a little bit of benefit. What do you want?
Improving his health. He has a bunch of health problem and he cannot eat, but yet he's eating like crazy. So it's not good.
Why is it my problem?
Again,
why is it? Is it a Buddhist problem?
It's your Buddhist disciples' problem, so therefore it's a Buddhist problem.
Yeah, it's my Buddhist disciples' problem, not mine. I don't know. You have to wisen up. Okay? Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, so back to slide 790. Okay, we're going to learn some real Dharma here instead of gossiping. Transforming sounds. It's not create and transform all sorts of sounds here. Transforming sounds is actually the sounds he creates are transformative by nature, meaning he creates all sorts of different sounds. You know, mandolin sound, oboe sound, not even close. All the sort of sounds like that, and each sound has a purpose, has a transformative way. It's those different sounds transform people, that turn them from unwise to wise. Okay? So he teaches by sound. He transforms people's nature by the sound. It's such a cool thing. I listened to some mandolin music recently and said, wow, this is so cool. I lost all my samadhi power. I like it too much. Yeah. So that has no transformative characteristics. But, you know, yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. Are these the same sorts of sounds that that cause sudden enlightenment?
Yes, absolutely. Some of the sounds can produce sudden enlightenment. Absolutely. He's that good. Okay? What sounds? I ain't telling. Okay. Anyone else? See, the Chinese, they give you the standard Chinese things. Well, actually, for a person of his caliber, it's not just creative and just sounds. For what? You understand? These people have wisdom. They're enlightened already. They don't just produce sound like, I'm going to compose music. For what purpose? The purpose is to teach and transform people to go from bad to good, stupid to wise, evil to kind. Okay. That's why the transforming sounds, the sounds transforms you, transforms your nature. 791. Celestial King dazzling eyes.
光明照耀眼天王
792. Very bright, sparkling eyes, and making them jumping up and down. Okay. 照耀 here. So these eyes here, his shining eyes here, illuminate them and makes them so happy that they feel like jumping. This is yao here, is a Chinese character that describes the process where when, correct me if I'm wrong, please, Chinese people, I usually go out on a limb, I push the envelope constantly. So yao here is that the jumping, the jumping from the joy. Okay? You jump because you're so happy. I'm so happy. In those, like in those commercials, We're not watching the same commercials, clearly.
Which commercials?
I don't have a commercial relationship. Sorry. Okay, never mind. Okay, so you see, so the eyes are bright and they shine and they make you happy. So the penetrating eyes, and somehow the shining a light upon you have a awakening effect, so that it makes you feel so happy. Open your wisdom. Okay? And so don't complain to me how come you don't feel nothing. You see, you haven't opened your wisdom yet. 793, and celestial king pleasing ocean-like sounds.
乐意海音天王，
For this guy here, you don't need to buy property by the ocean, by the seaside. Okay? I'd say he makes a very pleasant ocean sound, the waves. Okay? Yes. I used to grow up by the seaside, and I love the sound of the waves, the sound of the ocean. Okay? All right. 795. These and others acted as leaders of uncountable kings of the great Brahma heavens.
如是等而为上首，不可称数。
Okay, so this is our short version of the sutra, and that's why they only listed 10. But actually, in the original version, the 3 versions down there in the Dragon Palace, and that may remind you. So when Lung Shu, dragon tree Bodhisattva, went down there and he read the Avatamsaka Sutra, he said, "Wow, this is so fantastic. It shouldn't be brought back to the human realm. It doesn't belong here for dragon. It's for the humans." Okay, and so he memorized the short version. That's why this says that actually not just 10 of these heavenly kings, but actually a countless number of heavenly kings gathered to listen to the Buddha's lecturing on the Avatamsaka Sutra. 797. And out of great kindness, they sympathize with all sentient beings, universally shining light, delighting them all.
皆具大慈，怜悯众生，殊光普照，令其快乐。
Okay, 798, commentary. The kind, first overall, foremost, they're very kind-hearted heavenly kings. And 大慈, so they have great kindness. So they want to bestow kindness without any discrimination on all living beings. Okay? And they 怜悯, okay, and not sympathize. They pity the living beings. They have pity for living beings. That's not sympathy. Sympathy is a Western concept. The Chinese character here, 怜悯 here, means that they actually pity. They feel great pity for all living beings. Why? Because they see that all living beings are suffering so much. And that's why they feel sorry for them. They pity all living beings. When this tells you that they have wisdom. In order to be able to see other sufferings, you need to have real wisdom. Okay? So that's why they're very kind by nature. Okay? The reason they're rulers at the great Brahma heaven is because, number one, they're kind-hearted. Okay? They're very kind. Okay? And they have pity for all living beings. They care for all living beings. They see their suffering so much and they feel bad for them. Okay? And what they do, then because of that, okay, so he shines a light on them and give them happiness. To give them happiness. Okay, so remember this heaven here, they're specialized in light. Okay, they excel at emitting light. So their lights here, not just for emitting light, but this light here actually serve a purpose for these world rulers. Any questions? They all have a purpose. Okay, the purpose is to help others because they see their suffering. And that's why they develop these special skills in order to help them. Is it clear? And that's their Dharma door. Okay? They practice kindness, great kindness, towards all living beings. And what they do is when they see suffering, they shine a light upon them and make them forget about the suffering and become delighted. Okay? Kind of shallow, isn't it? Huh? Francis, you agree?
Agree, Master.
You agree? I couldn't hear you.
Yes, Master.
Bodhisattvas are never shallow. How could you? You're my disciple. What would they think of us? Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. In Francis's defense, this has been a wild ride of characters presented in the Avatamsaka Sutra so far. And on the surface, to me, yes, I feel...
nothing normal about someone who has 3 arms and 4 eyes and rides around in a chariot, pulled by a great white ox. There's nothing ordinary about it.
It's a cast of characters. I mean, I'm struggling to keep up, but on the surface, to me, yes, I have to say that a temporary reprieve from your suffering just to provide you with delight, isn't that just another kind of suffering? But I digress. Compared to the celestial, I just sped right through it. So just compared to the celestial kings, the heavenly Rama kings seem like much better guys. The celestial kings were not good guys.
Okay. Hey, I forgot to go to you all the way in the back. Sorry. Because I'm blinded by this light. Blinded by these lights.
Oh, no, Master, I just wanted to connect the dot when YongHua trying to speak with me so that the English audience understand, but it's okay. It's been long.
What did he say?
When YongHua asked question to you, I just want to connect the dot to the English audience, but it's been a while, so it's okay.
So it doesn't matter anymore? Okay, fine. Be that way. Okay, and so they have the reasons. That's not not judge them. Francis, I just taught you last night. Were you here last night? Oh no, she wasn't, right? The brother was sick with COVID. And so, was it last night, right? Right?
I was here, Master.
And last night? Yeah, Ahong.
Master, she's here busy helping me fixing up the audio for Vietnamese station.
Last night?
Yes, Master, she's here.
He abandoned her brother?
No comment, yes.
Good girl, I like you. You sacrifice your family for the Dharma. I wish you all are like that. Which reminds me of this story. Is it okay to tell you another story, or you just say, I'm going overboard with my stories? We went to Europe years ago. I don't know when anymore. Anyone remembers? You remember, Francis?
I think 2017, I think.
See, ask her. You remember all these things. And I went to Europe and to do some Dharma propagation, and then we went to France because I've always wanted to go to France. Okay, I visited the Louvre. Okay, and before we got into the Louvre, there's lots of shops around, coffee shops, Starbucks, they drink Starbucks on this American-sized cups, right? Paper cups. To the French, it's like sacrilegious. The French, drink the coffee in glass, man. You don't do paper cups, okay? But it's so American. It's amazingly, the Starbucks there are full of French people. And the Americans would go to French bistro. But anyway, so weird, So we're going there, we walked around, and I said, it's about time for me to tell you the truth, why I brought Francis around and so forth. And I said, what's your secret, Master? I said, you are here because you have to protect me. I go through phases periods like that where I kind of brainwash my followers a little bit, like Confucius, So I said, it's like we're like an army, and therefore we each have a role. I'm like the king. And therefore, the kings needs protection. The kings get shot at constantly. Okay? So, someone has to have my back. Okay? So, you know what happened? And I was talking with such great eloquence to all my adoring, disciples. Okay? And all of a sudden I noticed, I didn't see Francis anymore. Where did she go? I said, where's Francis? Did she go to the bathroom? I said, no, she's right behind you, Master. Is Master Z there? Is he there? He is. Okay? That's what I call act of faith. If you have faith and you believe, you do it. You don't question it. Because Xian Tu said, I don't know, it's a good idea, Master, or not. But Francis, she's just right. She goes and does it. Okay? And that's what Daniel is referring to as loyalty or stupidity, whatever it is. Okay? Because in all the teaching of Buddhism, okay, it's not about the words like people like to learn about. They want to learn about. Tell me about the Dharma. Tell me, like the first Yana king here, he wants to hear the Dharma, it makes him happy. Okay? But for us, what really matters is when we tell you something, are you going to do it or not? Okay? It's about, because if you do it, then your faith becomes stronger. If you didn't do it, your faith will not develop. So I tell you to fast for 6 days, don't stop at 5. Because the faith is only 5/6. So what is it? Too late. You blew it again, kid. Got it? Huh? Act of faith. Master Z, did you hear? You understand? Okay? We are all judged by our acts of faith. If you believe, are you going to do it? Okay? And because of that, okay, I will give her a prediction now. She will become enlightened. I don't know what Good's going to do, because what I told her to recite with her brother last night, to do a damn thing. So this morning, this lunch, today at lunch, I have to call Xian Shun to help. I said, it's not working. Yeah? And so Shun help. I said, can you recite for her? I said, for the COVID thing? He says, why me? That's Xian Shun, no faith whatsoever. Okay. Remember, the other gal is that, she slipped right back and said, okay, what next? What else? This one here, okay, she says, why? And then, me, why? Me. Not just why, but why? Me. And I said, because she's your buddy. She drives you everywhere. Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart. Yeah, all the important places. Isn't it about time you pay her back? He said, okay. He said, how many? How much? How long? I said, 2 hours. She said, too long. That's Xian Shun for you. You know why now I call her Xian Shun, don't you? You'll never guess. You got the idea now. After 10 years, she still doesn't get it. Huh? What does Xian Shun mean? Tell Vicky. Disobey your master, right? Argue with your master, right? Negotiate your master, right? That's Shun. Yeah? Yeah. Wise man. White man. Sorry. It's a slip of the tongue.
It means the same thing in English, Master. Shun.
Shun?
Yeah.
To shun. Oh, yeah, I know, you're right. From now on, she'll be known as Action. And so it's not the end of a story. So he said, okay. So I said, but it takes, so she says, can I do 1 hour? I said, no, it's not enough. So, okay, okay, I do it. And she did, and and then later in the afternoon, she texted me. She said, I did it. I recited 1 hour. And the being left. Should I stop? Should I stop? It's negotiating all the way to the end. Anyway, I would not want you to have such disciples. So, don't you ever take disciples, because your retribution will come before you know it. Okay, are we done here? Almost. And it's funny because he said, they're being left already. I don't need to do anything, right? I said, no, continue. He said, why? She doesn't bother asking me why anymore, but the why part, why? He's a sick woman. One left and came over to you. She only saw the being left, he didn't see it. Okay. 799 now, the kings of the voices of light heavens. Okay, another heaven. Okay, 800. Moreover, there were countless kings of the voices of light heavens.
复有无量光阴天王。
Okay, 801. And this is also part of the first dhyana heavens, one of the three. Here they use light as language. They don't speak. They don't have false thoughts. They communicate by light. Sending back light and light, going back and forth. And when the light is seen by the other, the receiver, they understand. It's kind of a cool way. Okay? And it also says here in the Chinese that at the end of the three calamities, at the end of the Kalpa, where our worlds are in the process of being destroyed, there's a fire. The first calamity, the first disaster is not climate change, but it's a fire disaster. And it burns everything in the desire realm, all the Disneylands and all the Eiffel Towers, all the Trump Towers to the ground, to ashes, and it burns all the way up to the first dhyana heaven. Okay? And then these beings are at that time. The time will make it rain and to put out the fire. Okay, and that's how we teach living beings, by rescuing them and benefiting them so that they can believe in being good and believe in goodness, believe in doing good. Okay? 803, yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. Sorry. What what caused the fire that they put out? Did you say it was the end of the Dharma ending age fire? That's what they put out?
Oh no, the end of the Kalpa fire. At the end of the Kalpa, our worlds are gradually being destroyed. Why? Because the heavenly demons managed to start destroying the Buddha Dharma, so that no one believes in Buddha Dharma anymore. You don't know how important it is for you to come to the lecture so that we can lecture to you because of your beliefs. That's why the Buddha Dharma is spoken to you. So that's why the first Yana heaven right there, that king, that guy Shikin, is very important because he requested, he knew that. He knew that the only saving thing, the only thing that can save the world is the Buddha Dharma. Okay, and so towards the end of the time of the Kalpa of the world here, the beings don't believe in Buddhism anymore, so they commit a lot of evil. Okay, they violate all the precepts, and because of that, they need to die sooner. When you do a lot of evil, you die prematurely, by the way. Okay? So that's why, because of the heavy karmas, their severe karmic retributions, these beings continue to do evil and do nothing to compensate for it. So what happened is that at that time, instead of one sun, all of a sudden you have like 10 suns appearing in the skies. Okay, one sun is very hot for us already. If there's no cloud, it's very hot for us. Imagine you have 10 suns shining upon you. It's so hot that it burned everything on earth. Everything. Melted steel, burned up all the trees, every single thing in the desire realm. Okay, it's from our karmic retributions. 8.
From Trin, are all heavenly beings gods or just the heavenly kings? The Chan Handbook sometimes refer to heavenly beings as gods.
I think you're confusing the gods and heavenly beings and the god kings. These are the kings that rule over the gods. Okay, the gods and heavenly beings are the same. They designate the same beings. But all these gods and these beings, these heavenly beings, also are under jurisdiction, under the rule of a king called a god king, a king god, whatever. Is a god king or king god? God king, thank you. You see? Yes, 7.
Master, you said it is said that the Suranga mantra is one thing that keeps the world in good shape, keep the demons in check. Being a spy myself, so they do Surangama mantra, Surangama repentance on the other side. So my question is, what is the purpose of Surangama repentance? Does it do anything like the Suranga mantra? Does it help with keeping demons in check, or it's just a repentance?
I don't know about the Suranga mantra repentance. Okay, I'm glad they're doing it. It's probably working for them. Okay. By the time I left, they started doing a lot more Dharma assemblies, different types of Dharmas. We don't have enough time ourselves to do them. There's many more Dharmas like I like to do. Eventually, when we have more manpower, we can do more. But I don't know the particular Dharma where the Suranga mantra repentance It sounds like it's more powerful than great compassion repentance.
Really?
But it isn't. You see, can I tell you a story? No? When we were at a smaller temple, Lu Mountain Temple, and a lot of Vietnamese came, okay, because it used to be mostly Vietnamese people. And there's a group of people who says, I follow Master YongHua's Dharma, and I love it. So, and I'm heard that Shranga mantra is the most powerful mantra. So that's what we practice. This is what a lot of these people do. They, the Vietnamese say, I'm going to practice the most powerful mantra. Okay, and so I also back then also believed that. I said, what the heck? I mean, if we're going to practice Shranga mantra, forget about great compassion mantra. So I memorized the Shranga mantra, and I was proud. I was able to recite very fast too. Okay, and I was so proud. I said, wow, I'm going to recite this Shranga mantra here. Okay. But at the time, I also had to recite the Great Compassion Mantra because I was working at the school in Long Beach Monastery where we're training the kids to do the hands and eyes. So I had to do it with them as part of my job. So I was so proud. I said, I know how I do a Great Compassion Mantra. I do 42 hands and eyes. Now adding Shranga mantra on top. I'm going to be such a cool dude. The demon's going to be so scared of me. And you know what? A demon came and just hit me on the head. And that's invincible, right? So I learned that it's not the mantra, it's the person who recites the mantra. So these Vietnamese who say, I recite the mantra, but I look at them and said, but you're only second dhyana. So how much good will you do when you recite it? And this is what in a Dharma ending age, the people who practice Buddhism fail to understand. I see people reciting Buddha's name for 10 years. 10 years? And that's all? That's all you got? And these people who recite this, and especially the Vietnamese monks and nuns that Master YongHua disciples who follow and say, this is the most powerful mantra. We settle all these things and we recite the mantra. Look at them and say, no wonder you Vietnamese are such low-level people. And Master YongHua ignore you completely. Because the level is too low. It's weird. So they go after these false beliefs. You see, Buddhism has many facets. Yes, it's the most powerful mantra, but the Buddha also says, for it to be powerful, you need to also have the ability to wield all the power out of it. But in a Dharma ending age, people are so greedy, so stupid. They say, this is the most powerful mantra, therefore I'm going to do it, and therefore I'm invincible. Remember? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. On this specific topic, actually, following one of your Dharma talks earlier this week, Malcolm and Alex and I were having a post game in the parking lot, and we were really energized because we really enjoy your Dharma talks. And I believe it was Alex was mentioning how in Great Master Shenhua's book about his trip to Europe, somehow he mentioned that the reason that the mantras work so well for him is because he's never said a lie in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, it's not the...
That's one aspect of it. If you have the power, you don't feel necessary to lie anymore. You know what I mean? I offend you, so what? What are you going to do about it? You see what I mean? Why lie? Because there's nothing you can do. Why would I steal from you? Because if I can have that power already, I'm worth a lot more than you think. You know what I mean? Why do I have to steal from you? You know how rich Master Shenhua is? He's worth a lot more than all the wealth on this earth. Many times over. So why would be interested in the gold and the temples and, why would you spend time building a temple? Losers will only do that. You understand? He has no time for it. He has more important things to do. Like teaching others. It's worth a lot more. You understand? These people like the cryptocurrency investors and these people, the rich people, they don't do the things we do because their time is spent on making more money, right? They don't do stupid things like us, like go have tea, drink coffee, and it's a waste of time for them. Yes? It's no fun for them to do those things. For them, it's like making money, building more power, getting more connections, all those things. Buying Twitter, those things. Firing people and hiring them back. Hey, I'm rich. I can do anything I please. I own you. Right? And so, they don't waste time. Didn't think of it, huh? So, how do we get there again? You started it.
It's my fault, Master. But I think that's actually the most valuable point to me that you've made is how do you not waste time? Because I see the logic of saying, I want to cultivate the most powerful mantra, but compared to someone who has never lied in their life, well, in this lifetime I won't attain that.
But that's a wrong thing. It's a wrong approach. It's greed. It's based on incomplete knowledge. This is why after I started teaching, I look at all these examples, all these losers, and said, we're not going to worry about the mantras, whatever, okay? Only thing I want you to remember is, are you improving? That's all. If you improve, you'll be fine. Whatever you use will work. Will be effective, will be great for you. But if you spend your lifetime chasing after, this is the best thing possible, I'm going to recite mantras, I'm going to move pencils. Did you know that? When I was a novice, someone told me, I'm learning a new Tibetan mantra, and I can move it. And I said, you don't need mantra. I told myself, you don't need mantra to move pencils. Who said you have to move mantra? What happened is, these people, why they recite mantras to move pencil? Because the mantra says, hey, ghost, move it. Ghost, move it. You hear me? You know what I mean? So the ghost said, okay. Calm down. You cultivator, okay? Remember? Happy? The ghost said, hey, these people don't know what they really want. Yeah, and some guy was so proud. Tell me, would you like me to teach you a mantra to move pencils? I said, what for? If you teach you a mantra, use a pencil to poke into Xian Shun's eye. Yeah, I'd like to learn it. Every time she wants to negotiate with me, yeah, now that's useful. You know what I mean? But to impress people, who needs to impress people? Jesus. Okay, why are we arguing again? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so scattered tonight. Okay, for some reason, I apologize. Okay, must be something I ate today, or I don't know. Need more sleep. Okay, we stop here tonight. Thank you all.